How is the United States Department of Agriculture making a difference for the children across the country? Next on Food for Thought. Hi, I'm Jodi Risse, the host for Food for Thought, and thanks for watching. Today I'm honored to be joined by the United States Department of Agriculture Mid-Atlantic Regional Administrator, Patricia Dombroski. Patricia, thanks for coming to Food for Thought today.
Thank you so much, Jodi. Really pleasure to be here.
Ms. Dombroski, can you share with the viewers a little bit about your role at the United States Department of Agriculture and what are some of your responsibilities?
Well, as you mentioned, I'm the Regional Administrator for USDA Food and Nutrition Service, the Mid-Atlantic region. So in that capacity, I, along with my staff of about 100, we oversee the nation's nutrition assistance programs in the states of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, District of Columbia, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands.
Wow. That's a big task. I only have to worry about Anne Arundel County and our 120 sites. With the programs that you oversee, so for a viewer watching, they're going to say United States Department of Agriculture. You know, how does that fit with Anne Arundel County Public Schools? We partner all the time. So not necessarily you and I, however, it's the programming that USDA supports all of our programming here as a county. What are some of the programs that you oversee that you're able to enhance and look at that not only impact our students in Anne Arundel County, but students across the country?
Well, there's actually 15 nutrition assistance programs, and they touch 1 in 4 Americans throughout the year. And to name just a few of the programs, or talk about a couple of them, our Cornerstone Safety Net program is a Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, which is formerly the Food Stamp Program. And that is currently serving about 46 million participants, half of which are children, about half. Another program, the WIC program, currently serves about 8.3 million pregnant, breastfeeding, and postpartum women, their infants and children up to the age of 5. And about 52% of all babies born are enrolled in the WIC program.
Wow.
We also have our school-based programs, including the school lunch program, the breakfast program, and about 30 million school children are served lunch each day, and about 14 million children receive breakfast each day. And one other program, just want to mention, that's a real priority for us is the Summer Food Service Program. And that's designed to provide the nutritious meals when school is out for the summer.
Wow.
Unfortunately, with that program, we have only about 2.6 million low-income children that are served on average in the month of July.
Wow. So for, I think, a mom or dad or just any of our community members watching today, for Anne Arundel County, we participate obviously in the National School Breakfast Program, the National School Lunch. We're very active participants in the Summer Meals Program, and I know we're going to talk about that in more detail in our second section of the segment today. And we also do dinner program. We are serving meals on Saturdays.
Great.
We actually have a school that served meals on Christmas Day. So we are really looking at how could we best service our community, our students, and how could we really have them fueled and ready to learn, which is really our ultimate responsibility, we feel, as Food and Nutrition Services and as AACPS. Let's have our students to be, fueled for learning and ready to be successful adults.
Great, great.
So,
taking advantage of so many of our programs.
Most definitely. We really appreciate them all. The health and the well-being of our students is so important. And we always say a well child learns better, right? And I think it goes for adults as well. I mean, we have to be the role models, and we really have to show examples of healthy behaviors, right? Eating healthy, physical activity, just mental wellness, sleeping enough, all those things. So can you tell us a little bit about, how have you changed through United States Department of Agriculture, the breakfast program, the lunch programs, and what is happening then in the county levels? And I'll probably chime in with what we're doing based on your changes.
Okay. Well, I think, as you mentioned, we really see the school environment. It really is one of the great places and settings that really can influence a child's food choices and eating habits and help them develop lifelong positive eating habits. So Well, very happy that, and thanks to the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act that was passed in 2010, that has provided major changes to the school lunch program, really helping us to transform the school, the cafeterias, to promote better nutrition and reduce obesity and the entire school environment. So a couple major changes within the Act. The school meal patterns have been updated and really reflect now providing more fruits and vegetables, encouraging and having more whole grain rich foods, and trying to reduce the sodium as well. So all things, again, really trying to reinforce the positive eating habits. And happy to say that 93% of schools nationwide are meeting those new standards. And we know here in Maryland, all of the schools. So doing great work here. Another part of the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act is around the smart snacks. And that provision really has set nutrition standards, and those standards are really based on scientific research in terms of the nutritional value of the foods, and really making a difference in terms of the whole school environment, the a la carte menu as well as the vending machines.
Yeah, so I think for somebody watching, they're probably saying, where does Anne Arundel hold up, right? I mean, that was just a lot of change and a lot of positive change, because I really believe as a mom here in the county and as a registered dietitian, I support all of these changes. But just think, here we are in Anne Arundel County, all of the communities watching us, if they look on our website, they could see the nutritional value of our items. As a registered dietitian, we look at every single item before it even goes to the students. So we look at it for nutritional quality first. We make sure that it could be cooked properly and in a small amount of time. We do a lot of meals. We do about 30,000 meals a day for lunch, and about 21,000 is for breakfast. So we want to make sure it can cook. And most importantly to us, we want the students to enjoy it and eat it. We want them to go home and talk about the Brussels sprouts and talk about the acorn squash. That excitement that they have in the school, we know it's just going to transfer right over into the community, and we really could collectively make a difference for all of Anne Arundel County, not just the students we serve.
Fantastic.
So it's nice with the changes. I think Anne Arundel County, for anyone watching, they can call me, they could ask to see the results. We were audited and we did very, very well. So thank you. Thanks for sharing those things.
Well, I know Maryland has always been a leader as it comes to the school nutrition programs.
Great. How about as we look at the meals in the traditional day? So I think when I started 20 plus years ago, we did breakfast, we did lunch. It was a very traditional school day. Schools now are becoming the hub of the community. And so we really believe we're the place to be. We look at things after school, like we mentioned, on Saturdays or holidays. How does United States Department of Agriculture look at that, and how the school is the hub and then the outreach into the community?
Very much so. I think schools really have that great potential to really pull the community together. In a number of different ways that we see across the region, across the nation, and are really seeing here in Maryland. One is our Farm to School program, and Maryland has certainly embraced that program in ways in which we're really connecting the farm community to the schools. We see the local farmers coming in, spending time with the children, having the children be able to see and understand where that food comes from, where the apple is from, and, being able to take that message home. And when they're in the grocery store with mom, to be able to say, this apple, let's get some apples from Maryland. So really see making that connection with the community. Also see such expansion of school gardens, and again, another opportunity for children to really learn where the food comes from. And a way in which, again, it pulls into the whole community. We see parents and caregivers and even some seniors that volunteer and come into schools and work side by side with the children and making that connection. And so I think there's a lot of opportunities where schools can really be that hub. We see schools also doing so much with, through nutrition education, of really helping educate the whole family, of bringing messages home in terms of, healthy eating and healthy choices out at the grocery store. And again, for our summer program, see that as a great opportunity where, during the summer months when we really need to address the nutritional needs of children, that the schools are open, have activities, and opportunity for the children to have a nutritious meal.
Wow. I'm so glad that you touched base on all of those, because I think Anne Arundel County is truly leading the charge on so many of those, or all of those topics. For somebody watching, our viewers, again, our farm to school and our local produce, we offer unlimited fruits and vegetables every day in Anne Arundel County, so we could have 8 fresh fruits and vegetables available. We actually write language right into our contract, and I know you and I talked about it a little bit before the show. We say that if it's within 150 miles of Annapolis, that's local for us. So we have dialogue with our farmers. We get to know our farmers. I had the pleasure of being with the staff here in the studio, and we went to the farm. We picked apples. We fed a cow. We milked a cow. So I think it's so important for us to see it, and we were able to showcase that to our viewers. But how do we teach our children is so important about that the apple really came from a tree. We did the fresh fruit and vegetable program years ago, and we had students who they didn't see a cherry tomato, the whole peach. So some things that maybe we take for granted, we really felt it was a great way to educate our students, right, and have them excited about it, have them go home and talk about it. So very, very active here in Anne Arundel County. I think anybody watching, if they have a child in Anne Arundel County, they should ask, what was the local item today? Because we promote it, it's there all the time, and really encourage it, with your, at family meals, when they come home from school, encourage your children. What did you have today? Which fruit and vegetable? Now, with the gardens, and I know you, USDA is looking at it really across the nation for the gardens. Maryland has quite a few, and in Anne Arundel we have quite a few gardens, and we really look at them as an education center. Is that really, that's really the drive behind USDA, correct?
Correct, right, very much so. That they education center, and we know schools where they will build their math classes and their science classes and their English classes around the gardens.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's so important that you tie it into the curriculum. It's not just about the dirt. It's not just about the water or the food. It's just the whole process. How tall do the plants grow? The curriculum is unbelievable that they have with math tied into the garden, and we've had great experience with it. I think we have a lot more popping up, which is good. Our growing season doesn't always correspond with when we're in school, which we know, but we definitely have capitalized on that and really made a difference. Looking at USDA, and I think your impact here in Maryland, right, or across the country, how would we as Maryland, and I know you said we're kind of leading the charge, but with gardens, is there a state that would have more gardens because of their weather? I don't know. Would like the South have a better time with that versus the North? Because I think some of our northern states are also doing all sorts of things.
Well, and I would say not necessarily, because I think we see such creative ways now in which to really bring gardens to children, whether that's urban gardens, whether that's indoor, whether you have hoop houses. Just so many ways in which you can still bring that message and still bring that education inside if necessary. So, I think just creativity is out there.
Perfect, and that's exactly what I was looking for, and I didn't know how to really say that only coming from Anne Arundel County, because I know what we have, but I think it's very creative when I go to these national meetings and I hear of the great work of where they place the gardens and how they're putting them in greenhouses, and I know we have an ag program here that, again, a lot of it is in a greenhouse, so it's very interesting to see the creativity, the thinking outside the box, right, and how really the sky's the limit for us and the learning capability for our children across the country.
Great things are happening.
So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit, and I shouldn't say a little bit, probably a lot of it about summer. I know it's USDA's initiative to increase the summer meals. We're going to talk a little bit about what we do in Anne Arundel County and really talk again about the health and the well-being of the students that we serve nationally as well as in Anne Arundel County.
Great. Thank you.
Don't go away. We're going to be right back with Pat Dombroski from the United States Department of Agriculture. We're going to talk about summer meals and plenty more.
Hi, I'm Wiley Baker. Sports abound here in Anne Arundel County. Join me for another edition of Athletes in Action later today, right here on AACPS TV.
Hi, I'm Jeannie Porter, Anne Arundel County Public Schools Department of Transportation is raising the level of awareness for the safety of your children as we transport them to and from school. When a school bus stops to load students, as a driver, this is what you will see. At 150 feet, the bus will activate hazard lights. At 100 feet, the bus driver will activate the amber lights. They will start slowing down. At 10 feet before the bus stops, they will turn on the red bus lights. Their stop sign will come out, and students will begin to load. Once all students are on board safely, the bus driver will turn off red lights and move forward. At this time, it is safe for the motorist to resume movement.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned to Food for Thought. Ms. Dombroski from the United States Department of Agriculture joins me today, and we're talking a lot about the many initiatives at USDA as well as summer meals. Ms. Dombroski, we just talked about so many of the programs that USDA offers, and we talked about the Farm to School, we talked about all of the programs, we talked about the programs in Anne Arundel and the outreach that you do at USDA and the team of staff that you have and how that really impacts us here. So again, thank you. We appreciate it, and we really support all the programs that you provide.
Thank you.
If we could talk about summer meals, I know summer meals are pretty near and dear to us here in Anne Arundel County. For somebody watching, they're going to say, well, the bell rings in June. What does that mean, summer meals? So can you share a little bit about what is the summer meal or the summer food service program, and how does it operate?
And I guess I would say, it's just very simply that children need healthy food all year long, not just during the school year, but all year long. And unfortunately, during the summer, when school is out, we find that children don't have the access to the school meals, don't have access in some places to nutritious meals. Only about 10% of the children that participate in the lunch program during the school year participate in the summer food service program. So we are very anxious to really work with states, work with locals, work with everyone to really try to promote the program and increase that access for our children. The program, the Summer Food Service Program, is one of our 15 nutrition assistance programs that is funded by USDA. It's administered by state agencies, most often Department of Education, and it is run by sponsors. Sponsors can be schools, they can be libraries, camps, faith-based, churches, a variety of organizations that as sponsors take care of the administrative responsibilities of the program. And then the children receive a healthy meal at sites, at feeding sites. And those sites, again, really can be a variety of locations. It can be a school site, it can be a community center, it could be a library, it can be any place that children will gather to be able to receive the nutritious meal and engage in an activity. And the sites work directly with the sponsors. So I think, as we all know, it is just critical for children to return to school ready to learn after a summer. And that doesn't happen when children go hungry throughout the summer. And I know many teachers that have said they can really tell. They can tell the child that has been nourished all summer and the child who didn't have that opportunity.
Yeah, we feel very strongly about that here in Anne Arundel County. Our numbers grow every year. So we're constantly adding meals, adding sites, and what we found most successful for us is how do we partner with the agencies that already have our children. So they're not always in the school, even though we strongly believe the school is the hub in the community, and it is. But in the summer, it may not be. So if we can't get the students to us, we have to go to them. And I think that's what we're finding most successful. Our partnership with Anne Arundel County Recreation and Parks is truly priceless. They open sites in our areas that might have a food desert, they might have a high statistic of poverty, and we go to that location, we provide them enrichment activities, they're able to do learning activities, they do arts and crafts, they do trips to a pool so they can learn swim safety and swimming. And then we're there to provide breakfast and lunch all summer long. So it really is, they go hand in hand, and I think it's until you see the difference it makes You see the smiles that those students have when you go to them and you have a meal. You're hooked. You know, you're ready to serve as many meals in the summer as you do during the school year.
Great.
So it's clearly, it makes a difference. We see it making a difference, and we each and every year want to just increase our meals. And for somebody watching, if they say, I'm a faith-based and I know I have a camp, they should call me up. If they're anytime, they could call me in the middle of the winter, they can call me in the middle of the summer. We've added programs with only a few weeks left.
Great.
So we definitely see the need, the benefit, and just having them fueled with that activity piece in there too. It's pretty important. We love the whole child, and that child being in the middle, and they're the focus for us. So it's a great program. Could we talk a little bit about, and I guess I did just talked about some of the partnerships, but what other partnerships does USDA have when you look at the summer meals, how to expand the summer meals?
Well, and it is a program that definitely relies and the partnerships are so very important. So we work in close, from our office, work in close partnership with our state agencies, with the community partners, and actually with other federal agencies as well. Here in Maryland, certainly working with the Department of Agriculture, Maryland Hunger Solutions, Share Our Strengths, and basically anyone who is interested in feeding children in the summer. We are happy to talk with and come out and help. We provide new technical assistance. We offer any guidance. We try to really share best practices. We host a number of webinars for the region, for the states, for any of the partners interested in how can we do this, how can we do the program a little bit better. We also have developed partnerships with other federal agencies, with Rural Development and with HUD, to help promote the summer food service program through their housing authorities and locations. And in Virginia, we've been working with the libraries, and that has served as a model that we're expanding to other states in the region. And really are trying to, again, provide all of the technical assistance. We have a website with some fantastic material, whether you're a site, a sponsor, or just interested in helping us promote the program. So lots of information that we can share.
I think that's so key, the promotion. In Anne Arundel County, we have sites, and they're not often as populated as we think they should be. How do we get the word out? You know, how do we touch all those partners, like you said, because we work with Share Our Strength and Maryland Hunger Solutions. Again, recreation and parks has been key, and I'm so glad that you just brought up the libraries, because for the first time, we are going to partner with our libraries, and we're not only going to partner with them to have that be a site or a place where we could provide the meals. We're going to start with our local media center folks here in Anne Arundel County. We're going to provide books. So what we do is we look at every opportunity we have, not only to fuel their bodies, but to fuel their brains.
Great.
So it's really interesting to think that Virginia's looking at libraries, and we're very actively looking at that, and I think that will be part of our program that definitely expands from this summer forward.
And I think that goes to your point about having activities, you know, and having something that really draws the children to the site, whether it's, you know, the books, whether it's a physical activity, but something that really kind of makes it really exciting for the children to come out.
How do you see USDA making that difference with the marketing of this? And I think you have a goal, right? You want to really achieve many more meals. I know in Anne Arundel County, for someone watching, we're going to hit that 100,000 meal mark, and we've been gaining 20,000 meals a summer, which is huge. We used to only do 7,000 meals a summer.
Wow.
So our gain now far exceeds even what our number used to be.
Well, and that we do have our goals. Last summer, pleased to say we served 187 million summer meals served nationwide to children at more than 50,000 summer feeding sites, which is about 11 million more meals than the previous summer. But our goal for this coming summer is 200 million meals.
Wow.
So really happy to hear all of the progress here in Anne Arundel County, and that you're going to be a part of our campaign to reach that goal.
Hopefully our number is going to help you get there, and we'll continue to do so. Again, anybody watching, we want them to call us. They can call me, they can email me, they can do anything they would like, as long as we can reach additional children is really what we want to do. Let's talk a little bit about mobile meals, and I think it's something that USDA, I think you've leaded the charge of let's look outside of the traditional summer setting, right? And even though the hub is the school in the community, can you talk a little bit about that, or what's USDA's feel about that? And then I would love to share what we've done with mobile meals here in Anne Arundel County.
Well, I think it really goes to the point you've made earlier that, sometimes you really need to go to where the children are. And you may have a school setting that works well if children can walk to that school, but there's oftentimes places, particularly in rural areas, where you really need to reach out and, as you say, think out of the box. So we have seen some, and in a number of places, mobile meals really be that key to that, to serving that community. So we're really trying to encourage more states and more local areas to kind of consider that and to look into that and see if that might work for their community. I know Anne Arundel here has really been, again, the leader in this effort, and actually started with the mobile vans, if I remember, back in 2012. So would love to hear, your experience and your perception of how is it working and how do we encourage others to follow.
Yeah, it is working great in Anne Arundel County. We started in 2012 in conjunction and collaboration with our transportation division. We wanted the big yellow school bus to go where the students were, exactly what you said. Not have them come to us, we were going to go to them. And we looked at a principal who really felt he had an area of high need. He knew he had students that were home without food. And he was already touching base with these families throughout the school year. So we just thought we could extend his service in the summer with meals. Very, very successful. It takes some growing pains. We have solicited a lot of partners. We have a lot of help. Our superintendent supports it without question. So having his support and our board members' support just really charges us to reach more and look deeper. I also shared with you, I know before the show started today, that we're actually looking at pockets. So we're now mapping in Anne Arundel County in conjunction with our Department of Health. Where's the food desert? Where is there pockets of our community, and our county is very large, that there isn't food sources for these families that are out there. Where do we have the highest SNAP or the percentage of students in poverty or families? We also incorporated our free and reduced price meal data. And when you mapped it out, we actually have our mobile meals in those same locations.
Right.
So we thought we're going to go to these students. We really want to reach out where they are, provide them with education materials, fun, interesting. The books we're going to have, the hospitals are joining us. The Department of Health has been right there with us, Share Our Strength, our State Department. So it's such a collaborative event. It's so priceless to do and go and see. We encourage everybody on our staff to go out and be part of it. And the smiles on the face say it all. Just making sure that they're fueled and they're ready to learn when they come back. We really know we're going to make a difference for our students.
Oh, and you are most definitely. And love to be able to share your experience with others and be able to have others reach out to you for any advice and technical assistance on just how to make it happen. So thank you.
We would welcome that.
Yeah.
We only have about a few minutes left. Just can you share, how does USDA, again, make a difference for the health and the well-being and just really make a difference for all of our youth in the whole country?
Well, and I guess I would say somewhat in summary that I really believe that our nutrition assistance programs, which again includes the school lunch program, the summer food service program, the WIC program, the SNAP program, that they are really working. And they're working in every community and working in every community to fight hunger and improve the health of our children.
That's fantastic. We're thrilled to be partners with you. We're thrilled to collaborate with you. And anything that we can do in Anne Arundel County, likewise. We just want to be able to pull together, make our resources, and what we do here, we know we can do it across the country. So thank you.
Thank you.
As you can see, the United States Department of Agriculture is key in all the processes that we do here in Anne Arundel County. Our partnerships with all of our local agencies, with our State Department, the Maryland State Department of Education, our Maryland State Department of Agriculture, are all key in the success of what we do in food and nutrition services. We have, a robust program with our local produce, our summer meals, unlimited fruits and vegetables every day, as well as plenty of whole grains, lean meats, and we always offer milk as one of the choices at breakfast and at lunch. If you have questions about the school meals program or anything you'd like to see on the menu, please call me at 410-222-5900. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time on Food for Thought.